Hello and welcome to this part series on immunity. This is going to be a bit of an exploration looking at the immune system and immunity from different perspectives. One being a kind of a visionary perspective to immunity. There'll be a little bit about the evolution of immunity, um, and then we'll go into some modalities and some lifestyle changes around in coming videos. And the big thing here is to just broaden our aspect or broaden our horizon around what immunity actually is, and that immunity is something that is within us and all around us, and it's an incredibly complex notion, and it's a wonderful exploration of what it is actually to be alive is our immune system. Um, and so today we'll look a little bit more towards the energetics of immunity and some of the fundamentals and some of the physiology around it. And now none of this is kind of fixed. It's flexible to everybody's own interpretation of it. But I will bring forward as much kind of the evidence that is out there in terms of some of these concepts, and some of them are what we know from science, and some of them are broader practices that come from traditional medicine. But hopefully what you should get from the end of it is you should get a little bit more of an awareness of what immunity is. You should also get a bit more of an awareness around, oh, what part of what could I be doing a bit more to help with my immune system? That's my goal of this. So this is a free free webinar for the most part, and so just happy to be able to share some of my knowledge with it. So with the immune system, it's something that if we expand our minds to 65 million years ago, or even further back, when life on this earth was mainly unicellular, or mainly um, in the aquatic realms, where it had to work and form and mold with its environment and with um, all the different intrinsics and extrinsics of inhabiting a world at that time. And through this evolutionary process in which this unicellular organism then transformed into like more cells, and then into a clump, into an organism, and then into more complex systems of more of a reptilian type nature that then transcended from aquatic nature into more land, in what's represented by this lizard down here, and became more instinctual and more complex in its workings. And then has this time evolved into more limbic complexes, more mammalian, more monkey, more primate. And then as the environment morphed and shaped and was in response to different bacteria and different developments from the inside, what it ate, what it drank, and it then evolved into more of a Neanderthal, or of a more into what's called your neocortex, more of a thinking, able to build tools, and then so on into higher and higher cognitive capabilities of what we now starting to inhabit today as humans. On our good days, we're incredibly creative and intellectual. On our not so good days, we don't make the best decisions. But really, it shows you the span in which humans today have come from. Um, but also part of that development that went hand in hand was all the things that help nurture and to help the ground of substance that helped with that. And a big part of that was the immune system, and how it was shaped with um, all the different things that it came in contact with, different foods, with the different traumas, with different genetics, with the different ancestors. So it's a real complex thing that we are, and that we inhabit, and that protects us. Um, Rumi, I think, captured it wonderfully in this poem, in which he said, I died as mineral and became plant. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I was human. Why should I fear? When was I less by dying? So each thing more complex than the next, and also including that. So the plant can't be a plant without a mineral, and a rose can't be a rose unless it inhabits the plant, and so on with the animal. And the human can't be human without encompassing the animal, but also the plant and also the mineral. We are formed through minerals, plants. It's a part of us, and so is our immune system. Scientifically, in the scientific world, we'll switch gears now into our immune system is formed of our external immune systems and also our internal. So our external, which lo and behold is the things that we see on the outside. So our skin, our mucous membrane, our nasal hair. It's something that in the medical field is dealt with by putting gloves and masks and protecting our external immune system. Our internal immune system will look more in these presentations going forward. And this can be divided into two lines of defense. So our first line, which is called our innate immune system, our second line, which is called our acquired immune system. Our innate immune system is basically innate, meaning our prime, like the thing that we've been born with. It's like when we came out of our mother's womb into this world, we were born with an immune system. And that's made up of our natural killer cells, our phagocytes, and these are very non-discriminate. These basically look at foreign microorganisms in our body, viruses, pathologies, or pathogens, and they just eradicate them. They don't even wait around to see what's going on. They just get rid of them. And it's like when we've got a inflammation, a sprained ankle. This is the part of our immune system that comes in. Our phagocytes, it eats up all the debris, and it starts with the healing process. So it's a very, very ancient system of healing that's intrinsically inside in our body. When we come up against a virus that perhaps is foreign and that we haven't dealt with in the past, let's say in terms of what's this thing? It's called chicken pox. That's what it's called. Or right in the news right now, we've got COVID-19. These are viruses which our innate immune system haven't been come in contact with that much. And what happens is that they come in contact with it, they realize they need to kind of dance with it and figure it out, and they see that they can't really figure it out. So they start producing what are called antibodies or antigens. Okay, and these antigens then, so they start acquiring this and they start building it up, these antigens, and they start killing and destroying these viruses and protecting themselves. And so what happens then is that they then send over these messages or these blueprints of what this virus had given them and the antigens that they produced, and then they then go into the second line of defense. And these are called your T cells, your B cells, and these are basically, they produce the antibodies and they store the memory. So for example, if you were ever to come in contact with someone with chickenpox or with COVID-19, and you've already had it and you've already produced the antigens, then you're not going to get it again because you've got what's called an acquired immunity. And this is what's this is what's popular in the media at the moment in terms of what's going on with COVID. In certain countries in Europe and Germany, and I know in Costa Rica, for example, they're injecting some of these people who've got COVID-19 with the plasma of people who've already built up the antigens, and they're using it as a treatment, and it can be a very successful treatment with viruses. Also in this discussions and conversations around herd immunity, it's when enough people have developed these antigens, to develop these acquired immunity, that they then become immune. And when there are enough people in the society or in the culture or in the tribe who become immune, then the flu or the virus becomes less of a threat. Um, a little bit more physiology here, where our white blood cells are made. So our white blood cells are all these things here: our phagocytes, our T cells, our B cells, our natural killer cells, or lymphocytes, or neutrophils, basophils. These are the things that when you go into the doctor and you get a blood work done, a blood count done, it'll come up as your white blood cells. And it's a sign that if you've got a high white blood cell, it could be a sign of infection in the body. It's how your doctor says that, oh yeah, you're fighting an infection, you've got tonsillitis, or you've got something going on, okay? But where they're produced is in the bone marrow, and what it goes and how it's transported throughout the body is throughout your what's called your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is basically this transport system. It doesn't have a pumping mechanism like the heart. The heart has a pump which pumps the blood all around our bodies, or pumps blood. But with the lymphatic system, it doesn't have this pump mechanism. And we'll talk about this a bit more later, why exercise is really important for your immune system, and that's part of it. It's because it pumps white blood cells all around your body. Okay, so moving on from here and on from what we've gone on to today, and this is a picture of Fermanagh, County Fermanagh in Ireland, in the north of Ireland. This is where my ancestors are from, and this is, for me, a really important practice in really shifting gears and shifting perspectives on this feeling of fear and feeling of almost like things are out of our hands in terms of our immune system, in terms of flus, in terms of pandemics, in terms of what we can do. And really the practice of gratitude, which in some places can be talking or spoken as prayer, or it can be spoken as acknowledging our ancestors in all the things in which us as a species have been in contact with: the famines, the pandemics in the past, many different threats to our lives, the threats to our economies, the threats to our finances, threats to can we get food, having to work in the fields, having and everything that's come to us to put us in a position that we are today, that these are all here to support us, and they've molded and shaped our immune system. Um, and we have an incredible protection around us. And so just even acknowledging this and having a practice around gratitude to those who've walked before us is an incredibly important thing for our immune system. And so that's where I'll leave today's video. Be sure to tune in to the next next video. We'll talk about sleep in terms of how that is beneficial for your immune system. And so today I'll just leave it with an invitation into tuning into your ancestors, your people, the land that you came from, the paths that they came, and your own body, and how your own body is doing a remarkable job under the plethora of bacteria and everything that we're in contact with daily.